So what you're basically seeing on screen right now is everything that just got announced yesterday or last night from the Game Awards. Let me know what your most anticipated game that was announced at the Game Awards is, and today I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the ones that got me the most excited. And I'm a little tired. I stayed up pretty late, just hanging out with my friends yesterday. Apologize for the poor commentary, but I'm going to do my best. Everything that I'm mentioning in the video, there's no particular order of why I'm mentioning it. This is just something that just immediately comes to my mind when I'm thinking about the Game Awards from last night. And the first immediate thing that got me really excited from the Game Awards, just because it was the thing that I was really, one of the things I was most anticipating, and I didn't even think it was going to show up at the Game Awards last night, was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Obviously, for a while, for about like 9 months or so when we got the first trailer, we had been calling it Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4 because they called it a new entry in the Budokai Tenkaichi series, but now it's officially called Sparking Zero, which for those of you who don't know is actually the Japanese name for the Budokai Tenkaichi series. It was called Sparking Meteor, whilst in America it was called Budokai Tenkaichi, and it just made sense because in America we had the Budokai series, and this was like a sequel series to that. Sparking Zero got a trailer last night, and my friends and I were obviously pretty much freaking out the entire time because all of us had grown up with the Budokai Tenkaichi series, myself included. I hadn't played like any of them since I was a kid, although a while ago, like a few years ago, I made a video talking about how I rediscovered the series again and how much I really loved it. So obviously 9 months ago when they had released that first trailer, I was really excited, and I had been wanting to see more from the game. Last night we got more of that, and the thing that's like super impressive about the trailer that we got is that they confirmed within the trailer itself that the stuff that we're seeing, the visuals and everything, is all rendered in game. That's not like a CG cinematic cutscene or something specific just for the trailer. That's stuff that they were going to actually be able to do within the game, and it just looks really damn good. Like, it's been a long time since we've gotten a Dragon Ball game that's like this high fidelity. Pretty much the thing that I can directly compare it to the most is probably Arc System Works with Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, CC2 did a fantastic job with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I feel like a lot of the things that they did with that game just didn't wow me as much as it did a lot of other people. But in this game, they did a pretty fantastic job. Spectrumsoft did a fantastic job in terms of the visuals. I'm very excited. Obviously, within the trailer, we get to see Goku and Vegeta fighting. Frieza's in there, and he's throwing his death ball, and he's fighting Vegeta. And we get to see a couple other characters so far from up until the point of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So it's still left to be confirmed of whether or not we're going to be getting characters that have only been featured in the manga so far, like Moro and Granola. But so far, we have characters from at least upwards until Dragon Ball Super Broly. Maybe we're going to be getting characters from Dragon Ball Superhero because that, obviously came out last year. Really excited. This is a franchise that I've been playing since I was a kid, and the fact that we're getting a new entry in this franchise is extremely exciting. And yeah, I'm so hyped. The next two games I want to talk about are two games that I really enjoyed from last year, because I think God of War Ragnarok came out last year, and this year, which was Final Fantasy 16, they both got new DLC, and God of War Ragnarok was actually free DLC, and they both launched the very same night at the Game Awards. So let's talk about God of War Ragnarok first, because I think that one's the simplest to understand and explain. God of War Ragnarok got some free DLC from Sony Santa Monica Studios, and the mode, from what it looks like, from what I can tell, is basically just like this huge brand new roguelike mode, but in the God of War Ragnarok skin. So you're going to be playing as Kratos, you're going to be traveling around in these like randomly generated maps with unique specific items and etc, and upgrades and all that other stuff. It's the typical stuff of a roguelike, but you're going to be playing as Kratos in God of War Ragnarok with his Leviathan Axe, Blades of Chaos, and I forget what the spear is called, but all of his weapons. And yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. It looks a lot of fun. I'm totally down to try it out, see if it's any fun or not. I'm not really too heavy on roguelikes, but I love God of War Ragnarok, and the fact that it's gotten free DLC is extremely cool. Kind of strange, though, that Sony has been wanting to put out some roguelike DLC, because they're doing the exact same thing for The Last of Us Part 2, when with their remaster, they're releasing a new roguelike mode, which I thought was really surprising. And Final Fantasy 16, it's getting some new expansion DLC, some new story DLC, and one of them launched again at the very same time as the Game Awards that very night. So for those of you who enjoy Final Fantasy 16 a lot, go ahead and start downloading the first expansion of 2, because the next one comes out next spring in 2024. And from what it looks like, there's going to be some new bosses, some more story expansion from the base game, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm totally down to want to try that out, but I'm thinking it might not happen soon just because of other stuff in my life that's just going to get in the way. Anyways, not that big of a deal. Just I wanted to point that out because I loved Final Fantasy 16, and I'm glad that it's getting DLC. I wasn't actually sure if it was going to get any or not. So that's really cool. The next game I want to talk about is Arcane Leon's new game called Blade. So yeah, it's based off of the Marvel character Blade. It's celebrating the 50th anniversary for the Blade character. And yeah, I think it's just super cool that Marvel's getting into the idea of putting out more games for their characters. Hopefully with the same level of fidelity as something like Insomniac's Spider-Man. Yeah, it was pretty disappointing not to be able to see Wolverine at the Game Awards last night, because I talked about how that was something that I really wanted to see, considering that Insomniac is now finished Spider-Man 2 and they finally, released that and stuff. Obviously, probably going to expect some DLC for that game because we got some for the first game. But it was still cool to see something from Marvel and seeing a new Marvel game get announced at the Game Awards last night. And Blade is an extremely cool character. From what we know so far, it's, from the studio Arcane Leon, and it's a third-person action game set in the world of Paris. And I think that's pretty much all we know. Yeah, I think this is just going to be super exciting. Blade, like I said, is an extremely cool character, and it's cool that he's getting a new game. The next thing that I want to talk about is Black Myth Wukong, and I'll admit that I've seen gameplay for this before, I've seen trailers for this game before, and I've never been the most interested in it, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm not at least slightly interested in playing it. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, just a trailer that we got from last night. We actually got to hear some English voice acting, got to see some more from the game that we have never seen before, and of course we finally got a release date, which we hadn't gotten previously before, and that's extremely exciting for people who were really looking forward to this game. So, I don't know, I'm thinking I might actually give it a try. It's based off of the story for Journey to the West, and I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and Dragon Ball was based off of the story for Journey to the West. And yeah, I think the game just is going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to try it out. August 24th, I think it was. I don't actually remember the release date off the top of my head, but if it's so, I think it's somewhere around August, for people who are excited though. I'm really happy for you. Check it out for when it eventually comes out. This next game, Rise of the Ronin. This is a pre-order trailer for a new game by Team Ninja, and as we know, or maybe some of you don't know, this game, Rise of the Ronin, is by the same studio who did Neo, who did Wulong, and another one that I'm forgetting right now, but it looks like another timepiece period game set in like Edo, Japan, somewhere around that area, but now probably not around that area or time period because they have guns. But it's another samurai looking game, but it still looks like a lot of fun. We actually got to see some gameplay where they have some very interesting traversal systems that look a lot of fun. Some, combat with the katanas and some potentially new other types of weapons. And obviously we have firearms that we're actually able to use within the game. I don't know. I just think that timepiece period games where we're actually able to play as like a Ronin or a samurai look extremely fun. And yeah, my buddy Josh and I were looking at this and it looked like a lot of fun. And yeah, we got to see a little bit of just open world action, maybe potentially a boss fight. Looked like a lot of fun. It was a really good trailer. It got me really excited, interested to try it out. Very briefly, I'll mention what Sega announced at the Game Awards last night. And we thought it was going to be Virtua Fighter, but it turns out it actually wasn't that. And from the looks of things, it looks like they're actually modernizing a lot of their old classic games. So stuff like Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Crazy Taxi, Streets of Rage, stuff like that. They're either remaking / remastering those games, or they're potentially making a new game in those franchises and just bringing them into the modern era. So obviously for people who are huge Sega fans, you're probably very excited. But for someone like me, I actually haven't played a lot of these games, and if I have, I've only played them very little. But, you know, obviously this was a really cool announcement, and it's probably made a lot of people very happy. So I'm glad for you guys who were really excited for this announcement. I'm interested to try out to see what they're going to be doing with some of these franchises and what potentially they're going to bring into the modern era in the future, because they do say that they're interested in bringing more. So let's see what happens. Finally, the thing that I want to talk about at the very end of the video is the trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Obviously, this game is absolutely going to be massive. The Final Fantasy VII game franchise, let's be honest, Final Fantasy VII is kind of a franchise at this point with so many games. This game's going to be massive. I have nothing much to say about it. The trailer that we got last night for Rebirth just looks insane. The stuff that they showed off from like the Golden Saucer, the Corral Prison, obviously the gameplay elements just look insane. But we've already seen a lot of the gameplay from certain people that were able to play it a couple of months ago, I think so. And obviously that looked like a lot of fun because they took a lot of elements from Intergrade and they're incorporating it into Rebirth. The stuff that they're teasing in terms of the story with like this like timeline, like these like different like worlds with like different characters that shouldn't exist being alive and characters who should exist being like dead. They're showing like new summons, just like new stuff to do in the gameplay, just a whole bunch of story elements. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be a fucking massive game, and I am so excited to play. And I'm gonna be honest, seeing this and seeing like this, because it was like a theme song trailer, this game is probably going to be Game of the Year when it comes out. I'm not gonna lie. The game's gonna come out and it's gonna win Game of the Year. It already is. I don't know what else to tell you. It's gonna come out. It's gonna fucking explode. Everyone's gonna love it, and it's gonna be Game of the Year. It's gonna be insane. I kind of don't really want to talk about it that much because I just want to play it, man. Like, seeing this has just left with so many questions and so many answers. Like so many questions unanswered, and I just want to play. I just want to play this game. I want to see the high wind. I want to explore the world with my party, with everyone in the party, with Tifa again, with Cloud again, Barrett, Red 13, Aerith, Yuffie, Vincent. Vincent's in the fucking game, which obviously he is. Sid was also in the trailer. I just want to play this damn game. I want to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, February 29th. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I want to play this fucking game. I really do. But that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to say in terms of the Game Awards from last night. Honestly, I thought, for the sake of what I had mentioned in my last video, I thought what I asked and wanted to see was reasonable. I don't know. I thought like what I was wanting to see sounded reasonable enough, like Elden Ring DLC, but we didn't get that, which sucks. Yeah, it is what it is. We got some stuff that was really exciting from the Game Awards last night. Honestly, a lot more than I thought in retrospect, now that I'm looking back on it. Because now that I'm actually talking about it. But yeah, for what I didn't mention in the video, let me know what you actually thought was really exciting, what I didn't mention. Let me know what you were most excited for. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. The Game Awards was actually really entertaining last night. It was actually a lot of fun. And the fact that I got to enjoy with my friends last night, yeah, hopefully we make this a routine thing. Hopefully we do this again. But that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm out. Peace.